Okay, our next speaker is none other but Barrister Peace Anonmneze. I hope I don't murder that name. She's a legal practitioner with over 17 years of experience spanning through property law, litigation, risk management, and company law, as well as human resource management. She's a public speaker, a YouTuber, and an author of 5 books, including 2 that are focused on real estate. She serves as a managing partner at Peacefield Solicitors and Advocates and leads a unique Pathfinders advisory and consulting services business. She's a real estate business management professional, and she leads that Pathfinders advisory consulting services firm. She's also founded Real Estate Master Class Hub Limited, and she offers specialized real estate investment and legal training. She's the founder and president of Female Lawyers in Real Estate Practice, a community of lawyers that empowers other lawyers in real estate. She has advised on major property deals, both nationally and internationally, and is an accredited manager and management trainer licensed by the Nigerian Council for Management Development. She holds an executive MBA and also a master's in entrepreneurship from the Metropolitan School of Business Management, UK. She's married to a fellow lawyer, and they are blessed with 4 children. With no further ado, please welcome Barrister Peace as she takes us on her session.
Multifaceted services across the legal, real estate, and business sectors. She is a legal practitioner with over 17 years of experience in property law, litigation, risk management, company secretarial services and compliance, corporate and commercial law, and human resource management. She is a public speaker, a YouTuber, and has authored 5 books, of which 2 are real estate books. She is the managing partner of Peacefield Solicitors and Advocates.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm honored to be here. When they were reading that, I was wondering whether I'm the one or they are talking about someone. I'm sure you're expecting to see one tall someone, right? So this is Peace Anonmneze. Thank you, Reverend, for having us. Thank you, Church of God Mission. Thank you. This is quite commendable. And when I saw all the adverts, the billboards, all the resources that have gone into this, I think you should give Reverend a hand of applause, please. He deserves that. It's not just having a pastor. When you have somebody that feeds you spiritually and feeds you your intellectually, your career, he's worth celebrating. Please, let's celebrate Reverend once again. The funds that have gone into this. You know what it takes to pull speakers all over the world to come and speak at an event like this. It's not easy. I organize events. I know how it can be when you are looking forward to getting speakers, the right speakers for your event. It's not always easy. So I want to sincerely celebrate Reverend and all the organizers. And thank you so much for having me. And I bring you greetings from the Board of Female Lawyers in the Real Estate Practice. I want to sincerely thank God that I am here, and I thank God that you are here, because for you to look forward to an event and you finally attended that event, we should give glory to God. And I'm happy that I'm not just speaking at a real estate event. I'm happy that I'm in church, so I can say praise the Lord, because sometimes when they give me microphone and a circular setting, sometimes I forget and try to say praise the Lord. And if I say praise the Lord, I'm sure you will answer me, because we're in the house of God. And the reason why I said that is because by yesterday evening, I didn't know I would be here. We lost one of our ESCO members. I was there in the hospital, watching how her body got so cold before she was eventually taken to the mortuary yesterday. When Mr. Omon called me, I wanted to tell him I won't be here. But we respect fathers. I didn't want everything that's gone into this for my absence to be felt. I still have to struggle, manage my emotions, wipe my tears to be here. Even when I woke up this morning, I just asked myself, is Ronke really dead, or did I dreamt yesterday? But It's actually a reality. So we thank God that we are here. And like I always start, okay, thank you so much. We're going to work together. Where is the MC? We're going to work together. Yes, thank you. I like to give out books whenever I'm starting any speaking engagement. So I always have a brain teaser. So when you get it, you'll be entitled to any copy of my book. So when I look at you, I'll know the one that will fit you, whether it's a spiritual book, whether it's a real estate book, or whether it's corporate setting. So whichever one that you get, like Reverend said, somebody is going to walk away with a plot of land today. I just said, that could be you, peace. You know, Reverend, am I going to participate? It could be me. So thank you so much. Please, let's move to the next slide. I have some brain teasers for us. Please, I would like the MC to please read. Thank you.
Can I get a second mic, please? Thank you. All right. The first teaser. A farmer has 17 sheep, and all but 9 die. How many are left? No, you have to raise up your hand for us to come to you now. It won't be... I need a second mic. Thank you. Okay. Please help me pass it to the lady over there.
8 is the answer. 8
8?
is the answer.
Okay, I'm going to leave this with you and move on with the other one. All right. So she said 8.
No.
That's wrong. Who else? Yes, please.
You are helping them.
9.
Yes, she's correct. So, thank you. The first one I picked, you just got this. Why praise God during trials?
All right, congratulations. Here.
That was a book I wrote in 2015 when I had stillbirth at 35 weeks.
Okay,
The next one.
Next one. In a year, there are 12 months. 7 months have 31 days. How many months have 28 days? I want somebody from here. Yes, sir.
February.
No? No, his time has expired. Someone else can try.
It's February 28.
Someone else can try.
1, a month.
Let someone else try. If it's that easy, it wouldn't have been a brain teaser.
It's going to be 12 months. Every month have 28 days.
Oh, awesome. I'm going to give you women in real estate sector, challenges, opportunities, and way forward. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Next one, please.
Okay, the next one.
All the months in the year, they have 28. I know that everybody was going to say February, but it couldn't be that easy. Thank you.
Slide, please. Okay. If you have me, you want to share me. If you share me, you don't have me. What am I? I want to go to this side because I haven't gotten anybody from that side. Oh, I'll read it again. If you have me, you want to share me. If you share me, you don't have me. What am I?
It's a secret.
Awesome. Thank you.
Congratulations.
So you get the latest book, Reimagining the Real Estate Landscape in the Contemporary Nigerian Market. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Because the moment you give out that information, it's no longer a secret. Final
Okay,
one, please.
the final
Thank
one. You're escaping a labyrinth, and there are 3 doors in front of you. The door on the left leads to a raging inferno. The door in the corner... Sorry, I'll take that again. The door in the center leads to a deadly assassin. The door on the right leads to a lion that hasn't eaten in 3 months. Which door do you choose? I'll take it again. You're escaping a labyrinth, and there are 3 doors in front of you. The door on the left leads to a raging inferno. The door on the center leads to a deadly assassin. The door on the right leads to a lion that hasn't eaten in 3 months. Which door do you choose? Let me get somebody from this side. I haven't gotten anybody here. Okay.
The door that has the lion.
Awesome. Yes. A lion that hasn't eaten in 3 months is dead. So you're going to meet a dead lion. Lions eat, you know.
Congratulations.
You know, it's a lioness that go to fight, bring the meat, then he takes the lion share before. So congratulations, still the latest book. All right, please.
All right,
Let's go for the business of. Thank you, MC.
You're welcome.
MC, are you married? Not yet.
Not yet.
Are you in a relationship?
Let's discuss after.
It's because this is meant for a woman.
Oh, thank you. Thank you
Yes.
very much.
This hasn't been launched.
Oh,
It hasn't been launched.
thank you.
So
Thank
you're
you.
holding a gold. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. So give it to her. I'll come for the wedding. Thank you. Okay, media, thank you so much. Can we move to the next slide, please? How many minutes do I have? 20. Okay, thank you so much. So I'll work with time. Okay, so this is our learning objective for today. Sorry, I want to build on what Reverend have done. Reverend is a teacher. I'm a facilitator. So this is how we do ours. So we start with learning objectives so that you know what to expect from the class. So at the end of today, it's our expectation that you understand the regulatory framework, because I'm speaking from the background of a lawyer. Even though some of the things I have in my slide, Reverend mentioned them, but I'm going to come from the aspect of the law. So it will help you to gain insight into the key laws, the policies, all the regulatory frameworks that we have, and then be able to recognize the importance of compliance. So if we don't have compliance, imagine a real estate sector, imagine any other sector without compliance. Imagine how that sector will be. So at the end of today, you recognize the importance of having compliance and regulatory frameworks in place. Please, next slide, please. Okay, we'll be able to explore industry standards and best practices, and we're able to analyze common challenges and legal pitfalls, identify strategies for navigating the market successfully. Next slide, please. Okay, so the overview of Nigeria real estate sector. So you can move to the next slide. So these are what I'm going to discuss on my introduction. So we have what we call different classes of real estate market. We have different classes. We have the residential. And the residential is mainly dominated by, informal. Of course, you don't have to be a real estate developer for you to build your own house. So we have houses everywhere. We have residential houses everywhere. It's one area, it's one class of asset where everybody can go, unlike the commercial real estate. Because the commercial real estate includes the office, the malls, the hotel, and the growth is usually at the cities like Abuja, Lagos, Port Harcourt, Enugu. While because these are the cities where the urbanization occurs, not unlike the rural areas. We have the industrial real estate, which is also growing. Wow. We have, before now, you do not have what we call the Jumia, the Konga, and all that. They always look for logistic, like a warehouse where they can keep their goods. And because of that, the e-commerce is now helping real estate sector. So the real estate sector, the class called the industrial real estate, is also growing. And then we have our land. The land ownership, everybody wants to own a piece of land. And today, somebody who is even seated, like Reverend said, you won't even know you're the one. You're also going to be a landowner today. But one thing you will know, as the land ownership, as good as it is, there are some factors you must consider when you are purchasing a property. There are key factors. One of the questions, in fact, I was in Invest in Africa last month in UK. And one of the questions our people in diaspora always ask is, what do we do when we want to buy a property? What are the key agencies where we should go to conduct searches? And I think I should just because I know that so many people also have that question. When you are buying property, due diligence is very, very critical. You can't just buy a property and, like I always tell people, Don't say, oh, these people are my village people. This one, we've been in relationship for years. Their father and my father. No. You need to conduct a search. In fact, most time, it's even those people that you have relationship with will hide some certain information from you. There's this lady that bought a property and she wanted me to do the legal documentation. And I told her that I'm sorry, at this level of practice, money is no longer important to me, that I protect my reputation at all costs, that I would like to do a due diligence. Barrister, please, you have come again, that your own is too much, that the man and their father has been friends for years, and they believe, that she believes that there's no way they can, do something that is going to jeopardize the transaction. I said, I'm happy to hear that, but please, if I'm going to put my seal on this document, I need to conduct my own personal due diligence, and I don't like to do copy and paste. I want to draw on my own clauses from what I have been able to, identified or observed. So she gave me the go-ahead. Do you know that this guy has been signing their dead father's signature? All the siblings are abroad. So he's the only one here in Nigeria. He's been selling all the property. And because he can sign their father's signature, all the properties that their father left in their care, because he's the only one in the real estate, the other ones, they are not here in Nigeria. So he's been selling and signing their father's signature. So I told her that it looks as if it's normal. But if those people are abroad, the siblings are abroad, any day they will come back, they are going to challenge all the transactions that have gone prior to the death of their dad. Why? When they present the death certificate, the date will be reading like maybe 2000 when their father died. And then your transaction is 2025. Did the man come from the grave to come and sign? So I said, just that certificate is enough to nullify any transaction. So she didn't even think about it that way. And I told her that some of the lands that the man is selling, their father bought from different people. And their father did not perfect the title of those, even though, yes, we know that their father bought it. But the record at the lands registry will not allow you to register until they see the signature of the last person on ground. And that's how it works. So this is the reason why you don't just jump into conclusion. In fact, there is this one that sent me document and said, oh, everything is fine, and they are waiting for them to sign. I should just roll it out. That was the word that he used. I should just roll it out from my system. I said, sir, I'm not among the lawyers that roll it out. I study documents to know who are the people selling to you, what is their beneficial right, do they have the right, the validity, are they recognized in law to sell? And another issue we also have is the people that when their father is no more and they are selling the property that they are selling, they've applied the first letter of administration. Letter of administration can help you to sell. But the particular property they are selling, the current letter of administration they have does not cover that particular property. So in that instance, they will need to go back to probate registry to apply for additional letter of administration to cover the particular property. Sometimes people will die without having all their property. So as their children keep discovering, you need to apply for additional additional letter of administration to cover whatever property you want to sell. So let me run quickly with that. So places you conduct searches when you are buying property. Number one, which everybody know that even they will teach us in law school, is the lands registry, where the property is registered. This is the one everybody know, the lands registry. But you can only go to a land registry if the property has been registered. Because if the property is not registered, what record are you going to search on? So it's based on the registration that you conduct a search. That means you conduct a search on a C of O, registered deed of assignment. Or sometimes we have what we call registration of judgment. If a court has given judgment on a particular land, which means that vitiates whatever existing certificate of occupancy or any other right on that property. To register that judgment that judgment of the court, because that judgment of the court will now set aside this certificate of occupancy or whatever right that was in existence before then. So that judgment is now recognized as the title to that property. So you can now use it again, that judgment, to now apply for another C of O if you now want. Now, we have what we call the Surveyor General's office. You know what, we have what we call the survey plan. The survey plan shows you the boundary of any land. That, oh, from here to here belongs to you. And that's why they have beacons, which and coordinate numbers which you can use to conduct a search. So when you go to Surveyor General's office, it gives you land information. 5 years, 10 years from now, whether the government have interest in that property. So it helps you to gather information regarding that property you need to buy. Now, what is the problem here? And that is where you need to involve a real estate lawyer. You know that there is something that is called a flying coordinate. They can just pull it from another locality and put in the one they want to sell, and it will go. You conduct it, everything is fine. But when you want to register, that's when you will find out that there's actually a problem on the property. So, but a lawyer in a maritime sector, a lawyer in the IP sector will not identify what a lawyer in real estate sector will be able to identify. That's why before you buy a property, before you engage in real estate transaction, make sure you are involving a lawyer who has been practicing in the real estate sector. Another place you go for when you are buying property is what we call the CAC. That's the Corporate Affairs Commission. And that's when a company is selling to you. So it means that what you are trying to confirm, perhaps there's been a debenture registered on that you want to confirm from the CAC, whether they have used such assets for debenture. So you can clear it from the CAC. And then we have one that nobody thinks about, AMCON, Asset Management Nigeria. You know, before there was, I think sometime in 2018, yes, 2018, CBN, you know, entered the banking sector, took over some of the assets, you know, some banks, some non-performing loans were sold to Asset Management Nigeria. And so most of those organizations, their directors, money that they used to buy properties, so those properties were in custody of AMCON. And some of them, because they are still in existence, there are some properties that are yet to uncover. So sometimes you are buying a property, you wouldn't know that that property is under AMCON custody. And then one day you will see that they will come with a court order and they'll take over. When you want to buy property under AMCON custody, there are some certain things you need to do. I won't go into that. But if you go to my YouTube channel, I really explained it very well. What you do before buying a property under AMCON custody. And another place where you go, you know, all these mama, all these papas that have been selling drinks, biscuits. I call them local intels. They can sit down and give you, you know, the background of a particular property that have been on that street for years. You just have to do your local intel, gather some information. You will be shocked at the kind of information you will gather from all those people that you will least expect. So that these are the places you conduct a search. Now, when you are buying a property, if it's a property located at maybe mainland, you need to go to court registry, go through the litigation section with the parties, the number of the name on the certificate of occupancy or deed of assignment, whichever the title is, to check whether there is an ongoing litigation. And this is where we have problem in Nigeria, because we don't have this database that is gathering information. In fact, when I started Female Lawyers in Real Estate Practice, one of the things I was pushing for was synchronization of the court system with the land registry, so that if the moment they file a matter that is a litigation, the land registry will be able to do that. But you know, a lot of people were like, where is this small girl coming from? Omoibo, you can't do this in our land. And you see the mindset of our people that if we must actually if we must make progress, we must look beyond our tribe, where we are coming from. And you know, because I'm also smart, I made almost all the advisory members Yoruba people. So they speak while I'm behind. So now they are not seeing me, they are seeing people who can speak their language, you know. So for us, that's a discussion for another day. But we are pushing it. We are believing God that one day the court registry will be synchronized with the land registry, so that if you want to buy a property, in fact, the people that are into tech should be able to help the government, so that from the comfort of your home, you can just click on it from the platform, because that's what is obtainable in other countries. You can search and then you find that there is an ongoing litigation on the property. So these are the places where you conduct searches. And if it's a property that, if you are buying a property and the people that are selling to you are the children of the deceased, you go to the probate section where they register either the will or the letter of administration. One, to confirm that the will is registered, and also that the letter of administration is also registered and also contain the right information, and the trustees, the administrators of the estates of the deceased. So that these are the places that you conduct search. I believe I've done justice to that. Thank you. Please, let's move to the next slide. Okay, so what are the key drivers in real estate sector? Reverend mentioned that urbanization. You know, the moment you finish university, the next thing you hear, Chinedu, you need to go and join your brother in Lagos. So, you know, all those kind of discussion. They are the reason that why we are having growth. There is a lot of people coming into Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, you know, and the truth is, they are not going to stop. Someone called and said, as the president of female lawyers, that I should push with the government for reduction of rent in Lagos. I told him, sorry, it's not going to come down anytime soon because of urbanization. A lot of people are coming in. Some people have that money to pay. So what is going to happen is that very soon, people, you just have to look into your pocket and which locality can I stay. That's probably what will happen. But if it's about the rent, the urbanization has affected it and it will continue to affect it. And the truth is that that's why I put the second one, demography. The number of young and growing population we have, of course, is fueling the long-term housing needs. You see that most of our, they call it, it is Gen Z. No, we are old people. The Gen Z now, you know, I've realized from data we've gathered that most of them, they don't just want to buy a house. They just want to live in a high-brow area where they can just pay rent, you know, connect with other people and all that. So it's going to be on the increase. It's either you have that kind of money or you don't have it. And that's why this kind of events are organized, so that you'll be able to, of course, push up your investment portfolio. In fact, that reminds me, media, I have a video that I wanted to play that was omitted before now. It's like you did not play that video. I just remembered it because I wanted to use it to amplify a point. Then the diaspora investments, a lot of Nigerians, Reverend also mentioned it, a lot of them, because when you do the conversion, especially the pounds, euro, it's so much. So the best thing that they are doing is investing here. They are investing. Because when you check, let's say that you have our 700,000 and they are 350 pounds. You can imagine from the value, 350 pounds is such a small amount, but here is a whole lot. So you now use it to, you know, amplify other figures and see the kind of money that, you know, they make when they convert it into Nigerian currency. And then the government policies, Reverend also mentioned it, because the kind of government policy, before now we don't have a Lasrida. But now, Lasrida in Lagos is working very well. They are now trying to regulate the rent, regulate the practice, trying to help if you are practicing in the real estate sector for you to have a license. So because of all this, they are the key drivers, because what will government policy do to the real estate sector? That's where we are going into. Next slide. If there is standardization in the system, if there is compliance, people will have the confidence to invest in the real estate sector. Okay, and because we have some of these challenges, I'll just run through it because I believe Reverend mentioned all of them. The regulatory hurdles, land use and titling process. You want to do development. and Lagos State Building Agency is asking you for the title. The land registry where you have applied for the title, 6 months, 8 months after, you've not received the title. How will a developer build? You know, sometimes when people talk about developers, you know, you talk so many things. I believe that sometimes people talk from the background of what information available to them. But for us in the real estate sector, we know that it's not always easy for these developers. Because you will apply, and you apply 6 months, 7 months, you haven't gotten your title. In fact, at some point, it will be queried either at a Surveyor General's office, they will send it back. There is this one that I've been doing since 2022. What happened? The surveyor that did the survey plan made the first mistake by adding a portion that is not part of that client's portion. So by the time it got to Surveyor General's office, they sent it back and we started again. They have to go and do a new survey and all that. So you see that sometimes the regulatory hurdles are one of the challenges that we have. The financing issues. If you don't have the title document, no bank is going to give you anything. You must have it. Even when the property is genuinely your own, but the documentation is not there, it's not going to, you won't have any financing support. And then infrastructural deficit. I know Rossbury Real Estate, Dr. Ned Okonkwo too, that's a Netcomox. Before they do any estate, they first of all, they will try to tar the road. Why? Because they know that if they are going to do that estate with the kind of road that's currently in existing around that area, nobody is going to buy. So you see them put their funds together. So first question is, how will the person now recover? And then the government is asking, oh, we want to push for low-cost housing and all that. Low-cost housing, and then the person is spending money to build the street, develop the street, so that at least it's even motorable for people to enter and access the property. So infrastructural deficit, we have poor roads, unreliable power supply, water issues, a lot of developers, they have to go and get the PSCN themselves, put the transformer in that, you know, and service their estate. Otherwise, nobody will buy. So it's a challenge. High construction cost. What you are buying today, Reverend already said that, the inflation alone. So when the person finished building, do you expect the person, in fact, that's where the problem of this off-plan investment, that's where the problem, and that's why when lawyers, part of the things we are pushing in female lawyers in real estate practice is to be able to equip some lawyers. When they are drafting some of these complex real estate issues, they'll be able to factor in the future. Because if you are drafting a contract that has to do with off-plan building, you should be able to take into consideration inflation purposes. Because if you are drafting it today, and maybe the property is at 50 million, after the whole project, will it still be 50 million? So you need to factor in and, you know, make the contract as flexible as possible so that if there is any issue, it's easy for you to adjust and then parties will still, you know, work together. Because most of the cases we have in court, they are usually caused by poor drafted contracts, poor drafted agreements, when some certain things are not taken into consideration. And then parties are now they will come in contact with the problem. They will now start looking for a way to solve it. Meanwhile, it could have been solved by a watertight agreement. So these are the kind of issues that affect real estate, especially the development sector. Please, the next slide. Thank you. So do we have recent trends? We have the smart and green buildings. Before now, there was nothing like smart and green building. But because there is growing interest for sustainable development, everybody is now factoring into that. The smart house, you can, when you are coming home, you can decide to put on your AC, let the house be chilling before you come in. Before now, it wasn't like that. I remember as far back as 2013 that a company came to that. Then I was still doing 9 to 5, came to our organization. I worked with Suru Group, now named Howden-Macau PLC. I worked with them at that time, and this company came from UK to come and introduce smart house. By that time, it wasn't like anything. So when they finished their proposal, my boss felt that This one is a long time, but just 2013 and now is the in thing. Everybody wants that kind of house. So you see, with the power of prop tech. And the prop tech, the increased use of technology for property listing, management. Now, if you want to buy a house, unlike before, like 10 or 15 years ago, you must look for an agent and all that. But now you can go to all the property listing websites, get property from the comfort of your home. These are the things that PropTech has done for us. Gated communities. And why do we look for gated communities? Because everybody wants their security. Before you enter, they want to know who you are. Who are you looking for? Unlike a community or an estate that is not gated, people can just have access and then they will go in at any time. Short-term rentals also, please. They've signaled me, so I'm going to run from now. Please, media, let's run together. The next slide, yes. So importance of regulatory compliance. Legal protection. It will protect both the buyer, it will protect both the seller. So when we have compliance, if the law has said, don't do this. In fact, the only place where I have issues with some of the developers are the requirements of a Lagos State Building Control Agency. If you are doing like 5 floors, it's expected that when you finish floor 1, they should come and inspect it, give you certificate. You move to the next, they will give you. But you see that most times they don't do it. See, some people just build. In fact, there is this property somewhere at Bagada. He was approved to build on only 5 floors. As we speak, it has 8 floors. And I'm like, what are we doing with human lives? Tomorrow they will say that there is a property collapse somewhere. See, within like just the month of April, I think we have had like more than 5 building collapse in Lagos. And it will continue if we do not put some protections in place. And like when Lagos State invited me last year, one of the things I put forward to them, I said, you have not shown us anybody that you sanctioned. Maybe from any of the government agents, people that approve some of this, gives this some of approval. They gave the approvals in the wrong way, not according to requirements. And we have not seen any developer that have been sanctioned. When people start seeing this publicly, because if Mr. A, you do it and you go free, Mr. B, you do it and go free, Mr. C will definitely do the same, because nobody has been sanctioned. But if we're in an environment where, okay, because you are the one that made this approval, against what is the requirement, we are going to sanction you. You are a level 10 officer. We are going to move you to level 1. When you have such sanctions, you see people will start sitting up. Or you are a developer, we are taking your license, you will not build again. We'll give you time. In the next 10 years, let's see whether there is going to be reorientation of your mind. And some of the people I gave my book, Reimagining Real Estate, chapter 5, I discuss about mindset as the greatest problem in real estate. You cannot expect something of excellence, of competence from someone that has a negative mindset. It's not possible. And like I was addressing the government during December, I said, you are making laws. Some of the laws you are making, some people are not even aware, because there is no advocacy platform for people to even know some of these laws that are in place. And there is no monitoring to ensure that people are actually complying. And even if there is a monitoring process, how many people some of these laws have been enforced and put in place? So there is absence of compliance, there is absence of monitoring, and there is absence of enforcement. Once these are in place, there is no way. You see, people will continue to do and repeat things until they start seeing, oh, Mr. A did it, and they sanction Mr. A and sanction Mr. B. So the legal protection, the market stability and credibility. If I know that the market is safe, the Omonilo issue, if it has been solved, yes, we have the Omonile platform where you go and report them. But after they have set up that, is the government monitoring to ask how many people has this platform been able to address adequately? Okay, access to financing. If everybody is complying, in fact, compliance itself is a capital. It will even give people the confidence to invest in your organization. Urban planning and infrastructural development. Some people just build, They would not check whether, is it a residential area, is it a commercial area? So this is what regulatory compliance does: environmental and safety standard, taxation and revenue generation, and dispute resolution and enforcement. The next slide. I'm not sure I'm going to finish this. The growth and challenges of this sector. Look, just let's move to this. I think I've discussed part of this. Okay, so we have the key regulatory bodies. From the federal, we have the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing. We have the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers. This is the one that cuts across the entire Nigeria. We have the REDA, Real Estate Developers Association, the Nigerian Urban and Regional Planning. But you see my aspect, my own, if you ask me what I want to achieve with our organization, is that we are going to have like a platform where all real estate professional bodies in Nigeria will come together to standardize the system. You will ask Redan, what principle do you have? What laws? How do you intend to achieve it? For the estate surveyors, for the architects, what are your standards? How do you license your members? If we don't have this thing in place like other countries, because like US or UK, you dare not call yourself a realtor without a license. It's not possible. But you will see somebody that will lose a job tomorrow. Next they will carry, who are you? I'm into real estate. I'm a real estate consultant. With what license? They can't tell difference between what we have, C of O. Some people will tell me, I remember one that comes and say, lawyer, we have this property for sale. And I said, what is the title? He said, a receipt. I said, I'm sorry. Receipt is just an evidence of transaction. It's not a title. We have title. We have what we call the certificate of occupancy. We have with deed of assignment. Which of this title? We have letter of administration. Which of them do they have? You cannot tell the difference. So we need to put this standardization in place. The next slide, please. So the legal framework, we have the Constitution of Nigeria, say that every citizen in Nigeria can own a property. So you and I, it did not say a man or a woman, say every citizen. The Land Use Act is our primary law, and I've been pushing for this. We are going to the Senate to ask them, why should we still be using 1978 laws to address some of the emerging issues in the current Nigeria? It's not going to be possible, because when this law was made, a lot of things that are in place today, a lot of emerging trends are no longer there. So we can no longer continue to use the Land Use Act 1978, the tenancy law of the Lagos Code 2011, building codes and zoning laws. In fact, this building code, our members we are reviewing it to make it like a compendium, some of the points, so that once you look at it, a lot of people are not aware of the building codes, not to talk of the provisions of the building codes, because you cannot just build. Everything has specification in the Nigerian building codes, but a lot of people don't even know that it exists. Court decisions are also part of the legal framework. There are some things that are not specifically written in any law, but the courts has decided on it. So it becomes like what we call the stare decisis, that's precedence. We have registration and title perfection. It's also another regulatory framework. Please, the next slide. So common regulatory issues that we have, like title fraud. In fact, the reason why I started real estate, female lawyers in real estate practice was a transaction I did in 2013 that has double C of O, the same property. When we bought from this family, there was nothing at Lands Registry to show that there was an existing litigation on the property. So when we bought from this family, we have advanced 100 million. We have done research, the normal way that you do the research. By that time, I didn't know there was something like a court research. So we bought from this family, gave them 100 million, and there's a practice in our company. Any property we bought and we don't want to use, we first of all demolish before we pay the balance. And the reason why we demolish before we pay the balance, if it's an empty land, what we'll do is that when we buy that property, we'll fence it. If it's an empty land, the reason why we do it is that if I'm fencing your land, you will come and ask me, Oga, what are you doing on my property? So it was a tactic that we were using to ensure that, we have done everything that we need to do, but before we pay you your balance, we want to do our final check. So it was when we were trying to demolish the property that the other family came and said, no, what are you doing on our property? Brought some policemen and all that, told us the matter is in court, And that was why I started female lawyers in real estate, because I said, who is this lawyer that is handling such a case? And didn't think it's important to go to the Lands Registry to put a caveat emptor buyers beware. So that somebody will know that something is ongoing on that property. The person did not do it. So we bought because at the land registry, everything is free, everything was looking good. So, and they gave, when they gave judgment in favor of the other family that bought. And then we lost our 100 million. But the lawyer in me now rose up. We arrested those family, and it's a popular family in Lagos. I don't want to mention them. I said, I know you guys have plenty land. You are going to give us another land with the same value of the one. That's how we recovered our money. That was how we recovered the money. They have to give us another land, another place. But, you know, it took us time. It took us system working in our favor. It took a lot of phone calls from some, you know, well-noted Nigerians for that thing to happen. So you don't want to go through that. And I've been having so many signals. I'm going to stop now. So just give me the next slide and I'm going to stop there. So the best practices, please, due diligence is very, very important. I've given you some places you conduct search. If you didn't get it, it's on my YouTube page. Compliance with relevant requirements is very, very important. In fact, there are a few people that there are some developers I cannot ask people to buy their property. Why? I have their records. But if you see these developers, there are some developers in Lagos, they will never build until they get all the requirements and they make sure everything is fine before they start building. At first, it might look they are stupid, but they have made that name. Sometimes, I know this particular one, before he builds, even if he's doing 24 units, before he starts foundation, people have finished buying. Why? They know he will get all the title documents. So that compliance is one of the best practice you can do for yourself. Engaging licensed professionals. Don't just use anybody. Use people who are qualified. Environmental impact assessment is very, very good. There was this property we wanted to build somewhere at Ebute Meta. It was the soil test that we discovered that it needs about 50 piles before time before we'll be able to do anything on that land. If you do not do the soil test, you can just go and do something that tomorrow it will swallow the entire structure and your whole investment will be gone. Use of technology for land and property records. I'll not be able to continue because of time. I want to say thank you so much, and if you have any question, I will, Reverend, if it's possible, people that registered, they can send them this slide. Thank you so much.